I need to be making a video. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. We are down here, honey. I don't know how that damn fly got in here, and it was flying low, and I thought I hit it. I hope it don't fly up. Try to get some legs and try to repair its wing real quick and fly up while we on this little broadcast right here, girl. I love it here. We gonna take over the year for another year. It's your bestie. Hey, we down here to talk about Monique, y'all. I really want to take my time. I watched it. I watched it on 1.5, so I watched it in almost half the time. Come on, Feather. Almost half the time. So I watched it really fast. Monique makes me laugh. Y'all know how I feel about Monique. And when I first came, I left YouTube and I first came back. One of my first videos was about Monique. When I tell you I was wearing her ass out, I was wearing her ass out. Monique used to be my favorite comedian. I don't know if you could tell how I deliver stories or anything like that. It's similar to the way she talks and the way when she's on stage and be cussing and stuff. But when I tell you I love Monique, remember her, remember her on on Two Can Play That Game when she kept saying he a punk, and then she was like, "What you gonna do, bitch?" Remember? She was oh, Monique is funny. I've loved her comedy. I think she's funny. And I love when comedians in conversation, they're just naturally funny. Like the things they say, they just be funny. And it's like they'll be dead ass serious. So I've always loved Monique from that sense. Her and I kind of fell out. We always fall out when she started talking about her daddy girl. But we fell out after, no, in addition to, that's what it was. Because it was when she came out about Tyler and Oprah and Lee. I had already been on her. I had already been like, ugh, girl, because she was coming. Sydney was always hovering over her shoulder, honey, with his lip gloss on in the back, looking, with this little smile on, looking. He's always given me pimpology vibes. Always have given me that, and then the fact that she calls him daddy, but not only that, calls him daddy in professional settings, and not only that, says that he raised her. Now I understand their relationship. They were best friends. They've been friends forever. And she essentially married her best friend. And, kudos to her. I feel like people should marry if you are going to participate in that outdated structure, that outdated operating system, then you should actually do it with somebody, one, that you would go into business with, right? You trust them in business. And two, someone who is your friend, right? Because we see how people, when they get divorced, how it looks, that all that friend, oh, he's my best friend, y'all be dating a nigga for 2 weeks and all of a sudden he's your best friend, y'all. But anyway, so Monique went down to Club Shay Shay. I did take some notes, but we're just gonna talk, right? We're just gonna talk. um like I said, I'd never, like I said on Twitter, whenever I was with her. Like, I thought the interview overall was really good. um she's funny. I love they had a couple sips of little drink and stuff like that. But it's just like when she gets to that male worshiping, like that's when I be wanting to call her like I be wanting to get on her because it's just so cringy, and it just like everything you said before that. I'm just looking like, girl, you was really doing good until you started throwing dicks. Throwing dicks. Like, I tell you, one thing a black woman values more than herself is a person with a penis. It's too many of y'all. Y'all gotta, but you also have to take into consideration her age. Now, Monique is like a big cousin to me. She's not auntie to me. She's not auntie to me. She's big cousin. Like, she's the age of my big cousins. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't see her as auntie, but I can see her being a fat black woman who talks in that black exploitation speak, as somebody calling her an auntie. I honestly do not think when people call Monique auntie, they're using it as a term of endearment. I think they're using it as those old ass women in your family, your aunties, who sit around judging people because they got their bonnets and their robes on outside, judging you because you ain't got what's wrong with her. She ain't got no man around her. Them gossiping ass, cackling ass, henny ass aunties. That when people call her Auntie Monique, that is what I see. One of them aunties who's not going to give you advice that serves you. She's always going to give you some advice that serves a man. She has these weird ass ideologies about how women should show up. Now I can, and then that black exploitation, the way they do that, sweet babies and brother and sisters and I love you for real and stuff like that. I do believe Monique loves her people, but I feel like the thing with the Netflix thing and the not the Netflix thing, but the thing with Oprah and Tyler and all them stuff, it wasn't just them. There's other people who have had experiences with Monique who speak to the she was difficult to work with. Now this tape that she gave um Shannon, where Tyler Perry admitted to lying on her, girl, they're gonna have to fix it. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. And she was right. We come from a community. See, but what's crazy is, do you understand that the concealing bad behavior is a tentacle of your male worship? I don't think that I don't think that she puts that together, because a lot of the things that you want people to speak about is bad behavior that was from men and Oprah, right? But we live in a culture where the bad behavior gets swept under the rug, and the majority of the bad behavior is being committed by these men. You don't understand how your male worship kind of falls into that. Let's not say anything because these people are revered or these people are perceived powerful. I don't think she realized that. Um, I did appreciate her talking about how we are trained to accept trauma. And I totally 100% agree with her. You're just supposed to be quiet. You're just supposed to allow people to mistreat you. You're supposed to turn the other cheek. You're supposed to forgive. I do not agree with, because we're family and no matter what you do to me, we're going to mend it up. That's a no. That's a no. Never. We only have DNA codes that are the same, but none of that other stuff. I don't agree with that. And part of that is, see, she was contradicting herself a lot, because she said that y'all we get into arguments with people or have people mistreat us or do us wrong, and then you got to speak to them at Thanksgiving like nothing has happened, right? You can't talk about it. Everybody tells you to be quiet, and the person that harmed you is still accepted around the family. But you want people to talk, but you don't understand how the behavior is conditioned, how we are conditioned to protect the predators, to protect the people who are exploiting us and hurting us and harming us. And you're told just to be quiet. You're told just to be quiet. And we already know that celebrity worship plays a hand in that too, that people have money. So you have this halo effect, like they can do no wrong. I was watching Oprah during the Color Purple um, junket, while they were going around promoting it. And it was just something that was just a disconnection for me. I don't know if y'all saw it, but there was like a disconnection in her, just her, like in her eyes. It was just like, I don't know, it almost like she wasn't really there. I don't know. And I was looking at Oprah, I was like, girl, what's going on with you? I don't know what it was. And then Taraji coming out and speaking against how they were treated. And, Monique went into how they were treated on sets of Queens of Comedy and how they tried to play with people's money. And we do, like, when she was saying how people, when they start talking about people, they start saying they don't use the people's names. And when she said on the Breakfast Club, I mean, if you ain't naming names, what she say, stay on the playground or get off the playground if you ain't naming names. I'm with that shit. At the same time, when you name names of quote powerful people, you have a result like Monique, right? You get blackballed. People say you're difficult to work with. You say Tyler is lying, but other people have shared experiences with you where you have been difficult to work with. So she says she's always been outspoken. She always wants to speak for what's right. Um, there were several times she mentioned like um, where she had to be humbled, where somebody was Tisha Campbell got an award and she had to humble herself. Does she not realize that that probably translated in how she showed up? You already said that you had this attitude, this little girl attitude when you first got with Sydney in a intimate way, and he had to basically raise you and all that other stuff. Don't do you that only showed up with him, or did that not show up in how you were dealing with people you were working with or working for? So which is it? So you do have to take a little bit of responsibility in saying, yeah, I probably would. Like I was really in my head. My ego was on 1,000. I was feeling myself. I probably, and I think I've said this before. I think she just should be like, and I probably, and I was not probably, and I was not the kindest to people during that time where I had this big head. I was getting awards, I was getting accolades, and people were paying attention to me, and the flashing lights and all that stuff. I started to feel myself, and there are people that I worked with who probably said I was difficult to work with. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to accept the responsibility for having an inflated ego at a time in my career and people suffering because of that. Like, take that level of responsibility for how you showed up. Because if you were at the award show getting ready to stand up thinking you were going to win an award, and Sydney, because you showed up as a little girl and he had to train you or raise you, is what you said, um, then you're telling me that didn't show up in the workplace? Come on, Monique. That's what I'm talking about. That's the part that just like, girl, we get it, we understand. And like she said, I'm not the first one to come out and say women are not being treated fairly, Black women are not being treated fairly, all of these things. Not telling the truth. Do you want me to not tell the truth? D.L. Hughley came out and said the story, how she told the story, that she's a liar. She's a liar. She kept giving props to Cat Williams, saying that people don't like to hear people speak the truth, especially about their beloved celebrities, whoever they're celebrating in whatever field that they're in. Celebrities, entertainers, sports figures, Black people with money. There's a worship of money, and then there's a worship of celebrity and notoriety. And so you tend to like excuse people, again, apply the halo effect to them, and then want to in turn protect them when they probably have caused people harm. And you should be telling the truth, but you don't. What do you want people to lie by not telling it? Like, for instance, Jacquees, I think he just got into a fight with Trey Songz. What are you hanging out with Trey Songz for? After you get into a fight, now he's a quote rapist. Now he's this and he's that. You knew what he was, but you hanging out with him. What you hanging out with him for? Now that he assaults you, now all of a sudden he's this and that. And now all of a sudden you believe all the other women who said something about him. Why didn't you believe it before? Because we let people get away with a lot of things in community. And it's crazy, because after me just saying we worship money, celebrity, entertainers, Black people with money, halo effect applied, these broke ass motherfuckers in communities harm women and children and do bad and are doing dirt, and you still have this snitching. No snitching is protecting the predator. No snitching is and then your religion tells you to forgive people, forgive man, forgive. And these people are doing you wrong. And then you're supposed to be around them and not say nothing. You're not supposed to advocate for yourself. No, you are. There's nothing wrong with her advocating for herself. You know, getting on stage and telling what to Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey to suck your dick, but then want to sit down with them. Like for me, that would be the end. I would be like Oprah, like who? We're good. We ain't talking about this. It's over with. Do I believe that Oprah doesn't move in the 100% all the time? Yes, nobody does. Nobody moves 100% of the time. Everybody has the ability to be ain't shit. Everybody has the ability to harm somebody. Everybody has the ability to hurt somebody, intentionally or not. You do have the ability and capability to do so. But I was with her when she was talking about telling the truth. Tell the truth to shame the devil. That's what you're supposed to do. And y'all lie by omission by not saying, you know what, you was wrong for that. And I got to say something about it. Harvey Weinstein, all the men in the entertainment industry who have been able to harm women, there are people who have been sitting around watching it. Like I said, I think I said it in the comments when I was talking about the Impact Award, the Grammy Impact Award being named after Dr. Dre. And I was saying it should be named after somebody else. And then I was like, yeah, Missy. And then I went online and I said, and then somebody said in the comments, and I was like, yeah, I just tweeted, Missy is perfect. But I still side eye Missy. Missy's been around since she was on Diary of a Madman with Jodeci. Do you know how much shit she done probably witnessed? And then here comes this little girl who all of these men seem to want to take a bite out of. Aaliyah, you saw it. Even Timberland, whose wife looked strikingly similar to Aaliyah, that he was in love with her. Maybe Missy was in love with her too. I don't know. But I know that she has witnessed something. You know how many people, like with all the stuff that come out about Puffy, all these people are coming out now because we've been taught and trained and conditioned to protect predators, to protect people who harm people, especially if they have some money and they paying people off. I believe after watching, I've always watched and read stories about cults, but I just watched probably 16 episodes of different cults. And that made me believe that the parents knew what R. Kelly was doing to their daughters. I don't care. The parents knew. They sold their daughters. They wanted to be famous. They want their daughters to be famous. So by proxy, they can be famous and have some access to money. So you sacrificed your daughter and handed her over to a predator. You're not going to tell me you didn't know what he was doing, because all of this happened after he raped Sparkle's niece. Sparkle stayed quiet. People continued to work with R. Kelly after watching him rape a child. And then it'd be reproduced over and over again, and people shipping child pornography through the mail. How did this happen in Chicago and it's being sold in a fucking barber shop in Los Angeles? Selling child pornography, and then after went and worked with him. People still working with him. Jay-Z working with him. You knew what he was doing before that. Y'all knew what he was doing to Aaliyah, because you even tried to get close to her. But nobody says nothing. Nobody says nothing. So we've been conditioned. You see how people go up for Tory Lanez? People, anytime a woman or child is harmed, they go up for whoever harmed them. They go up for the predator. They protect the predator. Y'all get hung up on the messenger because they don't have the right look. This information is coming from a fat black woman. She talked about that with Taraji. Taraji was saying the same thing as her, but Taraji looks a little bit different, so maybe the message will be heard coming from her. She mentioned the thing about the bus, the boycott, the bus boycott. um, with Rosa Parks, and there was somebody else before Rosa Parks, right? And she didn't have the right look. I think, and then I also think that she was a teenager, and it might have been pregnant or something like that. It was something about that story that she didn't have the look. She didn't fit the image. If we're gonna try and do this boycott, we need somebody they're gonna accept as a visual representation. So Rosa Parks comes into play, right? So we understand, and we do shoot the messenger and overlook the message. That's one thing we do have to learn how to do. Like, as much as issue I have with Monique saying the shit that she says about her husband, throwing her husband in Tiffany Haddish's face and all that stuff. If you had a husband, and I wish that I could put my husband in a bottle and shake him up and take a sip of some pimp juice, girl. Don't nobody want no pimp juice. Don't nobody want no pimp juice. Only you. Only you. Only you know there are actually millions of women who operate in that function where men are actually they see more value in men than they do themselves, so much so that they would embarrass themselves on a grand stage and call their husband daddy and say that they raised them. When I tell you she loses me when she does that. um she said she was more honored by the Image Award than the Oscar. What black woman's career have you seen explode after she won an Oscar? Halle Berry? Who else? Whoopi Goldberg? Who else? Monique? Whose career have we seen explode after they win an Oscar? I agree. Y'all put more value because you subscribe to the illusion of white superiority. So you are going to put more value in a space where it's white male dominated, because then it looks like they've accepted you, and you have that little thing in your spirit that you need to be accepted by white folks, because then you feel like, yes, I've crossed over. I've arrived. So you do that, to your detriment. um I just have this video right here of how she said, the thing with Kevin Hart, how Kevin Hart said that he backed her. They do all this stuff for stunts and shows, but in private, they're not supporting or backing up anyone. You know what I'm saying? And I told y'all Kevin Hart wasn't shit. Um, Tiffany Haddish ain't shit. But what she told Tiffany Haddish, she really dragged Tiffany Haddish, but she did throw a dick in the process. But that's what women who value men in that way, that's what they do. That's why when women throw dicks at certain women, you're just like, girl, why are you throwing that at me? I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. But some women do, and they really. That's what I said when I was talking about Married to Medicine. I'm going to come after the thing you value more than yourself is your nigga, bitch. I'm about to wear his ass out because I know you put so much value and stock in that. So black women, that's one thing they will do, baby, is throw a dick in your face. They will. They will. They will. They be so proud. They be so proud, right? And somebody said Sydney gives Kevin Hunter vibes. Sydney has never done what Kevin Hunter did for Wendy Williams. Kevin Hunter is a low down slug in the gutter, trash truck juice. But he made sure that his cash cow was making money. He was making sure because he was living off of her. And you give these men titles as kings when they have no kingdom, and you're actually in charge of the kingdom. You're actually in charge of the kingdom. And then you wonder why these niggas is fucked up and living in a fantasy world because y'all are labeling them with things or giving them things they don't deserve and haven't worked for, giving them titles of kings. And literally, there is no where is the kingdom, girl? Where's the kingdom? So she dragged Tiffany. If you had somebody supportive, that's what she should have said, not through the husband. If you had people around you who were supportive, like my partner is, you probably wouldn't have been on video looking like you was grooming a child. You probably wouldn't have two DUIs. I mean, she let her have it. our sister, Tiffany. She let her have it. I've never seen it for Tiffany. I've never seen it for Kevin. I've always said they give blackface comedy vibes to me. I've never understood that. I don't like the round the way girl shtick. Like Sexy Red does the same. Sexy Red and Tiffany Haddish do the same shit. They play up to this ignorant round the way girl archetype. Don't know what the fuck is going on. Doesn't know how to pronounce people's names and shit. Gets on the fucking Oscar nomination early morning telecast and starts acting like, I don't know how to pronounce that name. I don't know. Acting all stupid and ignorant and shit. I've never got jiggy with that. Coming on the red carpet with chicken in your purse and all this other shit. That's not cute to me. That's not cute to me. It's not. Kevin Hart, I went back and found tweets from 2018 where I was wearing Tiffany and Kevin out. Because this nigga really showed up out of nowhere. Like, where did he come from? Who is this dude? Tiffany, we ain't never seen really. Have we seen an hour of Tiffany? How many hours of comedy have we seen Tiffany Haddish do? I think maybe one. Does she have a special? She has does she have a 1 hour special? Or does she have a special where she's hosting other comedians and she comes on, says some ignorant shit real quick, but other comedians actually come out? Where'd you come from? Y'all talk about industry plants, girl. What else? What we look like. You discount what we're saying because of what we look like. We're too afraid to call people out. I didn't like that she referred to. Didn't I just have this conversation with y'all the other day about a transgender? Didn't I just have a conversation with y'all? A transgender. To me, that's like saying a tranny. I don't. That to me, it's derogatory when you say a transgender. That's like I said in this tweet. I said that's like her saying, "Can you believe a black helped me mend my relationship with Lee Daniels? Can you believe that? A black helped me with that?" That's what it sounds like. All she could have said is T.S. Madison. What does her trans identity have anything to do with anything? Listen to this.
This was the realest thing Monique said in that interview.
If you are my friend and someone says to me, Monique, Shannon Sharp wronged me, and you my friend, I'm going to call my friend. You can come to me. And I'm going to say, hey, is what they saying true? And if you get to hemming and hawing, I'm going to tell you, till you fix it, you and I can't talk.
I agree with that. I agree with that. That's the way you hold people accountable. I can't be around you if you're not going to take responsibility for what you've done. I can't be around you. But Tyler Perry and all them, she said Tyler Perry at one moment clapped his hands and people scurried out of the room and her security was looking at her and she said, you don't work for Tyler Perry, you work for me. You stay right here. Because these motherfuckers, she said that if I didn't have a recording, you would be saying that I was lying if I didn't have a recording. Now you telling me why why did you record them? You know that ain't right. No. If I didn't have a recording, you wouldn't believe me. I understood all the things that lady was saying, and I agree. Y'all know I can't front. I'm not. It's like you can't take away. So many people see the messenger and be like, bitch, she ain't talking about no shit. Shut the fuck up, bitch. That's why you was blackballed, bitch. No, she's saying some real stuff. She's saying some real stuff. But here she go, listen.
If you'll do them that way, it'll be a matter of time before you do it to me. So if Steve Harvey is your friend, you call your friend up and you ask him, is what our sister saying right, man? Because if it is, we can't do that to her. If that's our sister. See, it took a transgender named T.S. Madison. It was a guy named Jamaica Carter. Jamaica Carter. Now.
You see, it took a black named T.S. Madison to mend my relationship with Lee Daniels. It took a woman to mend my relationship. What? A transgender girl? What? No, we don't say that. All you have to do is say, it took T.S. Madison. What does her trans identity have anything to do with it? That's what I'm talking about. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to negate everything else she's saying, but that particular thing, That's why people call her auntie, because you late. That's why people be calling her auntie, because you late as hell. It wasn't done maliciously, but you could see like you just out of date. You just running on an old operating system, right? You're just operating on the old operating system. I only have about 15 minutes to go. And I asked you guys, because she says she really honors and takes, she takes on the auntie label with pride. In my experience, at first, when I was younger, I used to be like, I can't wait till I get older till I'm the fly ass auntie running around with a blunt and a glass of wine and a caftan on, traveling and shit. And I used to say that I wanted to be that auntie. None of my siblings have children. I'm the only motherfucker with children, so I couldn't be nobody's auntie. So I'm big sis, I'm big cousin, right? And in my experience, I've had people call me auntie, but then turn around, and I feel like it was a way to manipulate and get in good and be like, oh, I'm gonna call you a term of endearment, but I'm really just trying to get in to fuck some shit up. So at first I didn't understand Oprah and Ava's like, don't call me auntie, because no, I've found it to be insulting. I understand that it's said as a term of endearment. I understand that. But as I've gathered more information, I was like, I see people insulting people. You old ass auntie with your old ass, like you have like some old outdated way of thinking and approaching life and giving advice, and it seems condescending and an insult. But again, I understand that for some it's used as a term of endearment, but for some it's used to insult. Like that's all words, right? The way that just the tone of the word, if you switch the tone of the word, it can really be seen like delivered as a condescending label or to be insulting to a person. So a lot of y'all were saying, because Kenya Moore is only a few years younger than um, Monique. Angela Bassett is 10 years older than Monique. I would call Angela Bassett Miss Angela. I wouldn't see her as auntie. Um, Monique, I feel like she gets auntie because she's dark skinned, black woman who is heavy and then talks on that black exploitation shit. She gives outdated advice to women that don't really serve them. She is male identified, male worshiping, and then like she's like mammified as well. And I'm just speaking plainly because there's no reason to mince words. And like she was telling Shannon, say it. A lot of y'all be afraid to say stuff. Say it. What are you afraid of? Like what's gonna happen? Somebody's hand is gonna come out the side and slap you in the side of the head. Say what you saying. Say what you gonna say. Just say what you gonna say. And then hold people accountable and then responsible. Now, I don't think Tyler Perry is going to fix or mend anything by giving Monique money, the money that she lost. If you feel you lost money from his lie, file a lawsuit. That's all you can really do. If you have him on tape saying he lied on you, saying that you were difficult, and that in turn cost you $12 million, I think she said, sue him for $12 million and go to court and prove your case and show your evidence. Is there a statute of limitations on when you could sue somebody for, defamation? That's defamation. And you can prove that you lost wages. I think, legal eagles get down, but I think you have a case. You might have a case. I don't know. But you say you have the evidence. And I agree with her. Say what you gonna say. A lot of men, they don't hold men accountable, so they're not gonna say anything because they have a bro code, especially when a person is harmed on the other end of that. They do not. Very few. They, like I said, they don't be loud enough. Very few will come out and admonish a man who has harmed another woman. Very few. Very few. But the one thing they stay on code is when a woman has been harmed or mistreated or misused in some way, they stay on code. They stay on code so much that even Tyrese went into a courtroom and believed that the judge would have had some sort of unconscious male bias. And because he's a man, he should understand where you're coming from. But you only understand where he's coming from because you both have dicks. And so you don't say anything. Just like those dudes was sitting in that barbershop where Foreign Fable, whatever his name is, was saying that Meg didn't get shot, and everybody sitting out there like, not one person said, nigga, you sound crazy. You don't sound smart. Because they stay on code. No matter how ridiculous, they be in there nodding. Because everybody's afraid to say, nigga, you sound crazy. How do you think these fucking men get in power? Other men are afraid to say anything to them. Puffy was running around trafficking that girl. You know how many people knew? But he's powerful enough to blow your car up in your damn driveway. So what do? You let him continue to reign terror in spaces he occupies. So I'm with her. Speak the truth to shame the devil. That's what the quote is. Speak the truth to shame the devil. Period. Say what you gonna say and speak plainly. Stop speaking in these riddles. Stop using they. Call these people by names. Even if they are in powerful positions, are you gonna take the risk? Take the risk because it might save somebody else. But we see it didn't change because how many years later we have Taraji P. Henson complaining, how in the world is Oprah Winfrey the producer and you get these black A-listers to star in a movie and they're being treated like they just got their SAG card last week? How is that possible? There shouldn't have been no call to Oprah to fix it. It should have been done. Shouldn't have been nothing to fix. You're almost a billionaire. There should have been no way they had any pest anywhere. They should have had top-notch trailers. There's no way. There shouldn't have been a call to Oprah Winfrey. I think that's another reason why I didn't go see The Color Purple. I really was affected by watching that woman cry about the situation. And then having to come out with a letter to Oprah like Oprah didn't have it. Yes, no, you dropped the ball, lady. You're producing. You're executive producing. That means you're shelling out the money. That means you're shelling out the money. So if you're hiring Taraji Henson, Fantasia Barrino, Haley Bailey, Sierra, what's her name from Orange is the New Black? Sorry, I don't mean no disrespect by not remembering her name. But all of these women who are A-listers and Oprah is at the helm of it, it should have been no way, even if it wasn't her position, she should have been like, listen, y'all I have a special connection to this film. Everybody that works on this film, I want them to have the best experience attached to this traumatic story. I want them to have the best experience. You make sure everything is on point. I want black card accommodations for these women. I don't want them driving themselves anywhere. What kind of fucking crazy liability is that? What if she's driving through Atlanta and gets robbed and killed by one of these water boys? Taraji Henson, because she had to drive herself and people could see her driving herself to her fucking job. There's no way. So I understand what she's saying. And like I said, that when I was watching Oprah doing the press tour, there was a disconnection. And when she was speaking about it, there was a lack of authenticity in her voice. It seemed like she was just putting on airs. Like, I don't know if she thought it would be a quick way to make some money. I don't know what she thought. But there should have, Oprah should have never been called to fix nothing because it should have been done. And that's how I feel about it. And I think that's really one of the reasons why I didn't go see The Color Purple. Besides, I don't really fucking care about musicals. And on top of that, I don't care about musicals, but now I got another reason to not go or to not watch it, to be like, girl, because you look disconnected. Oh, know what I'm saying? What else did she say? Afraid to call people out. Yeah, and then she got her husband. Let me go to the blogs and see if we could get a clip of her talking about Tiffany Haddish, because she did wear her out. She did. She did. She wore her out. And she said that Tiffany don't have no man around her, and that's why she's falling prey to all these things. Here's her speaking about what time is it? Oh, I gotta go in 2 minutes. I'll come back. But I mean, that was pretty much it, you know. I mean, it was 3 hours, but it wasn't a lot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just a repeat of the same thing. She didn't really say anything new. I mean, we did learn about her, the Kevin Hart story, and not him not, you know, coming out or calling her and then saying that, oh, it's a miscommunication. It's a miscommunication, and it's a miscommunication, and then not calling her back, never hearing from her again, right? Um, I'm never hearing from him again, and still haven't heard from him. So we'll see what Kevin says. Kevin been called out, and like honestly, she's right. Her and Kevin, her and Kat were calling out the same people. Tiffany Haddish shouldn't say nothing about nobody. She really shouldn't. She's like a loser. Like, oh, you a loser. Tiffany Haddish. I have never seen it for Tiffany Haddish. It's just not my thing. Anyways, y'all, I gotta go. Um, I'll come back because there's some stuff on Jasmine Brown I want to talk about. So I'll come back. I have to go to a meeting, so I'll come back. I think this is enough about Monique. So y'all let me know. Get down in the comments. Tell me what part stuck out to you. Like I said, I agree with most of what she says. I can't get jiggy with the daddy shit and throwing dicks in people's faces. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't land for me. It's not like, oh, she got you because you don't have a man, girl. Oh, like, girl, look at your nigga there. Look at your nigga, girl, with his lip gloss on. Where was Sydney? I didn't see him nowhere. I didn't even see his foot in the frame, girl. She looked good though. Monique looked good in her all black. Bitch, when she said, girl, this was my favorite part.
The man, baby, listen, I had my share. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I was no whore, mm-hmm, but I was close. Mm-hmm. Hey, come on now, Shannon, get back to me. Now get back to me. Listen. So when it came to men, baby, listen, I had my share. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I was no whore, mm-hmm, but I was close. Mm-hmm. Hey, come on now, Shannon, get back to me. Now get back to me. Go.
That was funny. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.
So when it came to men, baby, listen, I had my share. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I was no whore, mm-hmm, but I was close. Mm-hmm. Hey, come on now, Shannon, get back.